Mercedes has won every World Championship and 102 out of 138 races since the start of Formula One's V6 turbo hybrid era in 2014. It is justifiably lavished with praise for this unprecedented success. No team in history can match its 74% win rate over such a long period, as Mercedes has racked up double-digit numbers of race wins in each of the last 7 seasons. Inevitably, the Mercedes domination has been criticised, as no fan wants to see the same team and drivers win race after race. But Mercedes cannot be blamed for this. Instead, the responsibility lies with the rival teams who had the means, motive and opportunity to break the Mercedes hegemony but failed to do so. Red Bull. Red Bull was F1's preeminent team heading into the hybrid era, having dominated Grand Prix racing from 2010 to 2013 with Sebastian Vettel. It started 2014 off the pace of Mercedes despite winning 3 races that season, but a big part of the reason for its struggles lay with the reliability and performance problems of the Renault engine. It was hoped that as the Renault package improved, so too would Red Bull. But that first season has proved to be the template for the whole hybrid era since for Red Bull. It won 17 races from 2014 to 2020, but despite only having one winless season in 2015, it has never translated that into a championship challenge. That's despite having drivers of the calibre of Max Verstappen, Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo. Renault's ongoing struggles meant that Red Bull's relationship with an engine partner that had taken it to huge amounts of success in the 2.4-litre V8 era soured. But after running Renault's, badged with a Tag Heuer name, from 2016 to 2018, it switched to Honda in 2019. The trouble is, even when the engine has been relatively strong, Red Bull has also had its own aerodynamic problems. In 2017, for example, the wider cars caused it wind tunnel correlation problems, while it also took time to adapt to the modified front wing rules in 2019. So in recent years, the pattern at Red Bull has been to start badly and then get better as the season progresses before finishing strongly. But what it's failed to do is carry that momentum into the new season. Red Bull Honda has won races, but again has fallen short of taking the fight to Mercedes, with 2021 its last chance with work support thanks to the Japanese manufacturer's withdrawal from F1 at the end of the season. Williams. Given the Williams team's recent fall from grace, it's astonishing that it started the hybrid era in 2014 as the closest challenger to Mercedes in terms of average pace. While that did not translate into wins, with Red Bull taking the 3 victory crumbs that fell from the Mercedes table and Williams only third in the Constructors' Championship, Valtteri Bottas and Felipe Massa took 9 podium finishes in 2014. They even locked out the front row in qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix after Mercedes drivers Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg made mistakes. It seemed Williams was back, especially when it finished third again in 2015, despite only managing 4 podium finishes and slipping back to 4th fastest on average. But that was actually the start of a steep decline, as the underfunded team proved unable to build on that promising start. It became clear that it was not at the level of the top teams when it came to aerodynamic development, a weakness that was initially shrouded by the strength of the Mercedes engine package, and by 2018 it had slumped to last in the Constructors' Championship. Now under new ownership from Doralton Capital, the hope is that Williams is now on a path back to the front, but it is going to take time. McLaren. McLaren finished second and third with Kevin Magnussen and Jenson Button in the first race of the hybrid era. While it was a Mercedes customer team then, the expectation was it would soon re-emerge as a race-winning force given Honda's imminent arrival in 2015. Rarely have the high expectations for a project fallen so spectacularly short, as the new McLaren-Honda alliance proved to be a disaster. From 2015 to 17, Honda's failings were one of F1's biggest talking points, as it struggled badly for reliability and performance. Despite some encouraging signs in 2016, Honda was in all sorts of trouble in early 2017, and McLaren resolved to bring the increasingly embarrassing partnership to an end. What followed proved Honda wasn't the only problem. While it has gone on to win races in the back of both Red Bull and AlphaTauri machinery, McLaren's switch to Renault propulsion revealed the team had tricked itself into blaming Honda for all ills when, in fact, it had some serious problems of its own. While once Honda was the laughingstock of F1, now McLaren had become the subject of derision. After hitting rock bottom in 2018, leading to Fernando Alonso's departure, things picked up in 2019 and 20 after significant changes, with Andreas Seidel joining as team principal and James Key as technical director. McLaren has returned to the podium, and with a switch back to Mercedes engines in 2021, once again there is the hope it can get back to the front in the future. Let's hope McLaren doesn't let F1 down again, but instead maintains its current rate of improvement. Renault. What was then called Lotus won a race in each of the 2 seasons before the hybrid era began, but its form then slumped thanks to lack of investment. When Renault took over the ailing team ahead of 2016, it set a timetable of 5 years to emerge as a race winner and title contender. Yet after 5 seasons, it remains mired in F1's midfield. Renault has the ambition and the resources to be taking on Mercedes, even if it's always been slightly less well funded. There has been significant investment both at Enstone and its Viri engine base, and the trajectory was initially very positive. Renault started in 2016 with a badly undercooked car, thanks to only completing its takeover of the team in December the previous year. But it made steady progress to finish 6th in 2017, then to a midfield leading 4th place in 2018. But even the recruitment of Daniel Ricciardo couldn't stop it regressing, and it slipped to 5th the following season. There was an upturn in fortunes in 2020 though, finishing only 21 points off 3rd in the championship with an average pace that's as close as it has been to the front. But the car was still a good second per lap off on average. But with 3 podium finishes, the arrival of Fernando Alonso and an Alpine rebrand for 2021, hopes are once again high that it can close on Mercedes. The question is whether it will make good on that promise or squander the potential of its works team status. Ferrari. Ferrari lacks nothing in terms of resources compared to Mercedes, but while Sebastian Vettel was in World Championship contention in 2017 and 18, those bids ran out of steam long before the end of the season. Ferrari has consistently failed to live up to its vast potential during the hybrid era. It has won just 17 races in 7 seasons, failing to win at all in 3 of those years, most recently with its dismal 2020 campaign. And even when it has been a threat, there were subsequent question marks over the legality of its engine, albeit ones that the FIA could not prove. It made a late start to its 2014 power unit development, meaning it was well off the pace that season, which contributed to the departure first of team principal Stefano Domenicali and later of star driver Fernando Alonso. But despite winning 3 races in 2015 with newcomer Sebastian Vettel, partly thanks to the changes the Domenicali regime made, that form wasn't sustained in 2016. In fact, the failure to sustain form has been a pattern under the leadership of all 4 team principals Ferrari has had during this period: Domenicali, Marco Mattiacci, Maurizio Arrivabene, and current incumbent Mattia Binotto. The closest Ferrari came was in 2018. Having won 5 races the year before with a car that was particularly strong in low-speed corners, it produced a strong all-round package for 2018, but Vettel's title challenge was undone by a litany of on-track mistakes, not to mention development struggles in the second half of the season. Ferrari is now further off than it has ever been during the hybrid era, so any hope of toppling Mercedes in 2021 is unrealistic. But who do you blame most for F1's recent predictability? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, we've got plenty more to come, so please do hit subscribe and maybe even the notifications bell so you don't miss a thing from the race.